Millions of Americans are quietly leaving blue states, and most people don't know why. From skyrocketing taxes to rising crime and a shrinking job market, these states are losing residents faster than ever. In this video, we uncover the hidden truths behind this massive migration and reveal where people are really heading. The origins of the Great Migration. The term Great Migration often brings to mind the massive movement of African Americans from the rural South to urban centers in the North and West during the early to mid-20th century. However, the modern Great Migration refers to a broader demographic shift. Americans, particularly middle-class families, professionals, and retirees, moving from traditionally Democratic blue states like California, New York, Illinois, and New Jersey, toward red or less densely populated states with lower taxes and a perceived higher quality of life. Economic pressures, housing costs, and regulatory burdens have become the primary catalysts for this movement. Blue states, known for their progressive policies and social programs, often downplay these outflows because it reflects challenges in affordability, taxation, and governance that don't align with their political narratives. Economic pressures driving the exodus. High taxation and cost of living are undeniable drivers behind this migration. California, for example, consistently ranks as one of the most expensive states to live in, with top-tier income taxes, costly housing, and steep utility bills. New York follows a similar trajectory, where combined state and local taxes can reach nearly 15% for higher earners. While blue states tout social programs funded by these taxes, the unintended consequence is the alienation of middle-income families, entrepreneurs, and retirees who feel financially squeezed. As a result, many seek states like Texas, Florida, or Arizona, which offer no state income tax, lower housing costs, and a business-friendly environment. Blue state governments often frame these migrations as negligible or emphasize the influx of immigrants to counterbalance the outflow. But the underlying economic dissatisfaction remains significant. Housing affordability and urban density. Housing crises in major blue states cannot be overstated. Urban centers like San Francisco, Los Angeles, and New York City face skyrocketing rent and home prices due to restrictive zoning laws, slow construction permits, and population density. Millennials and Gen Z, along with established families, struggle to buy homes or maintain a comfortable lifestyle, prompting relocation to more affordable states. Even when remote work becomes an option, many are choosing to permanently move to regions where housing offers more space, lower taxes, and access to nature. Blue states often highlight urban vibrancy and cultural amenities, but rarely address how unaffordable living forces residents out. A fact inconvenient for political leaders who depend on population-based representation and tax revenue. Political and regulatory frustrations. Another factor fueling the migration is political and regulatory fatigue. Blue states often have complex regulatory environments affecting everything from business operations to personal freedoms like gun ownership or vehicle registration. Entrepreneurs and small business owners report feeling stifled by overregulation, high corporate taxes, and bureaucratic hurdles. For politically moderate or conservative residents, these restrictions create cultural and ideological friction, prompting relocation to states where regulations are lighter, taxes are lower, and political representation aligns more closely with their personal beliefs. The narrative that blue states are progressive utopias often ignores that these same policies contribute directly to the outflow of residents who can afford to leave. Quality of life and infrastructure considerations. Beyond economics and politics, quality of life issues play a major role. Urban congestion, traffic, crime rates, and public school performance are increasingly cited by migrating families as reasons to leave. Many blue states face challenges in maintaining infrastructure while funding expensive social programs. In contrast, some red states experiencing influxes are investing in roads, schools, and healthcare facilities to accommodate new residents. The migration trend highlights a fundamental tension. While blue states invest heavily in social programs, many citizens feel their personal lifestyle needs, housing, commute, safety are not being prioritized. Demographics of the movers. Data shows that those leaving blue states are not necessarily lower-income populations, but often younger professionals, families, and retirees who can work remotely or have the capital to buy property elsewhere. This exodus has political implications. When higher-earning residents depart, blue states lose tax revenue and voting power, inadvertently shifting influence toward less densely populated, lower tax states. The migration also reshapes cultural landscapes in receiving states, introducing new business ideas, professional networks, and consumer markets. Blue states often frame migration as brain drain, yet the narrative is minimized because acknowledging it would highlight policy shortcomings. Impact on blue states. The cumulative effect of this migration is subtle yet profound. Economically, losing residents who contribute significant tax revenue can strain budgets and undermine funding for public programs. Politically, it affects congressional representation, as populations shift away from blue states to red ones, altering the balance of power in legislatures and the Electoral College. Socially, it can create a feedback loop. As middle-class families leave, the remaining population may be more reliant on state programs, reinforcing political narratives but further stressing budgets. Despite these consequences, blue state officials often focus on immigration as a counterbalance, rather than acknowledging the need to address cost of living pressures, taxes, and regulatory burdens driving residents away. The future of the Great Migration. The modern Great Migration is likely to continue, driven by remote work, affordability crises, and cultural preferences. Blue states may respond with incentives to retain residents, such as tax breaks or housing reforms. But unless structural changes occur, outflows are expected to persist. The trend also signals a broader national transformation, as population growth becomes concentrated in historically red or swing states, influencing national elections, economic policy, and cultural identity. Understanding this movement is essential for anyone interested in American demographics, politics, and economics. What blue states may not want widely publicized is that the migration reflects real dissatisfaction, not mere preference. A subtle but important critique of progressive governance models that fail to align with resident priorities. The shift isn't just about politics. It's about lifestyle, opportunity, and survival. As Americans move in record numbers, the landscape of the country is changing fast. Stay informed, subscribe for the full breakdown, and see which states are winning the migration race before it's too late.